All right, next one here. Local gun laws. We got Stephen Babbitt. Lives in Massachusetts. He's, quote, behind the Iron Curtain, as he says. I'm wondering when we will be able to purchase AR-15s or North American small handguns, etc. I know, and he thinks that perhaps the Maryland assault weapons ban case would be key to this, but he's asking when, as somebody who lives in a deep blue state like Massachusetts, when are they going to be able to buy ARs or so it's North American Arms small handguns, I should mention, are like Derringers, basically, like little guns. Mm-hmm. And you have a couple states, right? Like Maryland, Massachusetts, California, where you specifically can't own these because they have a handgun roster, right?
Right. Yeah. Especially Maryland and Massachusetts in particular, when we did just a cursory review of the roster, seemed to favor banning the really small handguns for whatever reason. Yeah. So both featured on those rosters. California is obviously, I've written a piece about California's roster is more geared towards the micro stamping technology that they would love to foist on the nation.
Right. Which is theoretical technology.
Theoretical. Exactly.
Actually exists yet. But I think so. Yeah. What do you think of his question? What's it going to take for somebody in Massachusetts or California or any of these other deep blue states to be able to buy an AR or some of these handguns that are on the register, or like not on the register, I guess would be the question.
Right. I think he's exactly right in terms of his AR-15s. He referenced the Maryland case, which is being appealed to the Supreme Court currently. They haven't decided whether they're going to take it or not. But it essentially is going to come down to if the Supreme Court decides to take that case. You maybe will see some movement depending on how the court rules in the New York gun carry case. If they set a new standard for Second Amendment review, you may see currently pending gun cases get kicked back down to a lower court to be retried under the new standard. But essentially, it's going to be judicial action no matter what. Same with the handgun roster. There's currently legal action pending on the California handgun roster.
Yeah.
So it's going to take, a court, essentially.
Yeah, it'll probably take several rulings because like the Maryland case or the California has an assault weapons ban case too. That'll only affect the assault weapons bans, which is not what like the North American Arms Derringer guns are banned under. That's a totally separate law. So you'll have to see a case against a handgun roster win. So you'll need multiple cases basically.
Yeah.
Before you can see that. Now he also he makes this point. Now I can buy food, candy, light bulbs, toilet paper, magazines in many other, I think he means paper magazines in many other states. Although maybe he means ammunition magazines. I'm not sure. In many other states across our country, except for anything banned by our Massachusetts Attorney General, how is their authority to expand beyond Massachusetts borders? What gives her the right to infringe on what I choose to purchase, especially when 2A is supposed to be a protected right? So what do you think about his question there?
Yeah, her powers don't necessarily extend beyond the borders. It's just a matter of kind of regulating what comes in through those borders. So you're free, even if he was, for example, talking about ammunition magazines, say he goes to Virginia or, one of the surrounding states that has more liberal gun laws, and he buys a 15-round mag or a 20-round mag that's banned under Massachusetts. The Massachusetts Attorney General doesn't have the power to stop that sale in New Hampshire or Vermont or whatever state.
Right.
It's just the fact that when he comes back into Massachusetts, you're under her jurisdiction and therefore subject to those rules. So it's not that her power extends. It's just that she has dominion over Massachusetts law.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the right point. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be illegal for you to go to Massachusetts to buy something outside of Massachusetts. The problem happens when you try to bring it back to Massachusetts.
Right.
In most cases. And then in a lot of situations, an FFL is probably not going to sell you a gun that you can't legally have in the state that you live in, just out of precaution, I think, usually. Right. Now, there is a federal law that deals with handguns, though. You can't buy a handgun across state lines without first having it shipped back to, your home state for an FFL to process there. If FFL is a federal firearms licensee, which is a gun dealer, basically. And so, there is some state law, or there's some federal law that impacts handguns specifically. But yeah, she doesn't necessarily have like, you could come to Virginia or Pennsylvania if you're from Massachusetts, and you can go and shoot all the ARs you want while you're in Pennsylvania or Virginia. Right. You just can't bring them back to Massachusetts. That's basically how these regulations work.